I do think as an actor, of course, I'm greedy. I want to play every version of her that I can. There are certainly moments where I feel palpable envy of my co-stars because they get to toggle between the two, and I think that's so fun. Also, they make it look good and easy, so.
Hi, Jen. My name is Ron, radio host from Berlin, Germany.
Hi, Ron. Nice to meet you.
Yesterday, I talked to Dan Erickson, and he told me that most of the cast didn't want to know too much about their character's future. And that all because they want to keep the mystery. And I know back in 22, after the first season, you said that you especially didn't want to know about the Innie stories because you are not there. Why should you know? And that you later enjoyed watching the show and watching this whole plot lines going on. Has that changed looking at season 2, or is it still the same for you?
It's been difficult to maintain that ignorance because Devon herself has come to know more than she cared to, I think, about the inner workings of Lumen. So that line became more blurred, certainly, as we moved into season 2, but I still do try to keep her scope focused on what is in front of her, because that is the challenge of her character, and her greatest hubris is that she doesn't know what is happening at any given moment with Mark, her brother. So I think maintaining that level of tension was important to me, but yeah, it's hard. It's also, I can't go on social media now without seeing people theorizing various things about the show. So sometimes my brain begins to forget what is real and what has been proposed on Instagram.
I would start with the Outie situation. You are one of the few characters in the show only with the Outie at the moment. So you can say, she's only an Outie. But on the other hand, Devon is right in the middle of the storm we all are seeing on the screen, this Lumon-Situation, her brother in the middle of it, no, the word is missing. Also, Gemma in it at this moment. What would you say? How much does her relationship with Gemma and obviously Mark affect her?
Majorly. I think that until this point in season 2, she's been operating under the pretenses of supporting her brother and supporting her husband, but we get to peer a bit more into her interior world this season, which means seeing how far she's willing to go to protect her family, and that, as we know, involves some pretty intense measures. And I think that what she comes to understand about Lumen changes the way she shows up. We get to see her in a state of desperation that we didn't in season 1. She doesn't have her laurels to rest upon. She can't just be warm and supportive when she's worried that her family is going to be literally murdered. And so getting to see her pushed to the brink, and how her own personal relationship with Gemma and her current relationships with both her brother and her husband have led her to a moment of abject desperation was really fun to play.
You mentioned the fan theories, and there are fans worldwide thinking and theorizing about Severance, sometimes serious, sometimes crazy. Have you looked at all these fan theories or some about your character?
I have seen some, and they're all really interesting. There are a lot of incredibly bright people that have entered the fan theory chat. I've read some that were a bit outlandish, and some that were pretty close to what I know to be true. So it's been impressive and a really cool way, I think, for fans of the show to engage with the culture of the show, and I think the moment that the show has seized in the zeitgeist at large, that's been a cool way to interact with them.
How is it for you? You've been playing Devon now for 2 seasons, only as this outie character
Right.
or regular character. I don't know what to say, but would you like to explore an Innie version of her? And could you imagine a Lumen department where you would like to work with that Innie?
I think Devon would not fare very well in a corporate environment. I think she's an incredibly privileged gal who lives in a really fancy Frank Lloyd Wright house with a rich husband. I also think she's impatient as hell. So it would be interesting to see what aspects of her personality would remain after being severed. I do think as an actor, of course, I'm greedy. I want to play every version of her that I can. There are certainly moments where I feel palpable envy of my co-stars because they get to toggle between the two, and I think that's so fun. Also, they make it look good and easy, so.
And I have to say, thank you for your time. I enjoyed watching the show, enjoyed watching the parts with you, and I can only say I'm looking forward for a hopeful third season announced soon.
Thank you. You and me both. Nice to talk to you.
Nice talking to you. Bye. Have a great day.
You too.